yeah, man, thank you so much for hanging out with us today, dude.
No problem.
And no problem.
Thanks.
Noted with thanks.
Thanks for having me.
So, Amal, I know who you are. Mm-hmm. Your followers know who you are.
Probably.
Who are you? For the people out there listening to Nazik Presents, who are you? What do you do?
Well, first of all, my name is Muhammad Amaluddin.
I feel like this is a first date.
I'm 29.
I like long walks on the beach. I'm a Virgo.
Okay, so I'm basically a geologist gone rogue. I studied rocks, and now I study humans, and I help them move better. That's what I do. Apart from that, I also, outside of the gym, I love hiking. I like being in the nature. I like taking my cats out for a walk.
Do they actually go out for walks?
No.
No, because I've got a cat. Her name's Mochi.
Yeah.
And I tried putting a leash on her once, but she did the one where she just lied down. She just was dragged on the grass.
No. Yeah, but we try to start them like a very young age. So at first they were like very scared, but then after that they kind of get used to it. But then most of the time they just sit around. Yeah.
Okay.
Anyways, what else do I? Yeah, that's what I do.
There's one interesting thing that you left out.
What is that?
Is that for the last 3 years you've been living in Canada?
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Which part of Canada do you live in?
I live in Vancouver, specifically Burnaby. I live with my wife and my mom-in-law, and two of our cats.
What are their names?
Pichu and Togepi.
Pokemons?
Yep.
Both of them?
Yep. Probably.
One's yellow.
One is yellow. And the other one is?
White?
Yep.
Oh, got it. With some little patches on it?
Yeah.
Got it, man. You're just exposing to the world how much of a geek I am, right? So you live in Canada. Mm-hmm. You work in Canada as a coach, as a trainer. What do you call yourself?
Health and coach health and fitness coach.
Yeah, health and fitness coach. And, you've been gone for the last... You said you were a geologist gone rogue. Mm-hmm. How did geology take you to Canada?
It didn't, though.
Okay.
Yeah.
Walk me through this. How did this Bruneian kid end up in Canada?
My wife happened.
Okay. Mm-hmm. You met her here?
No, I met her in China. Our love was made in China.
Wow. Wait.
And it's real.
There's so many countries in the mix right now.
Yeah.
Walk me through it. Okay, walk me through it. What happened? How'd you get to China?
Okay, so I studied in UBD. All right. I always wanted to be an engineer. I guess that's what my parents kind of steer me into.
Like all of us?
Yep, exactly. So... And then I took geology for 4 years, and then as you know, that in UBD there's this course called this program called DY, Discovery Year. Mm-hmm. So the first year I did an intern, and then after that I went to China, and that's where I met her, and we knew each other a week after the program started. And
so she was on the Discovery Year with her uni?
Yes, but she's not they just call it student exchange program.
Okay.
Yeah, so she just happened to be there, and then it's so hard to talk to the locals there because they can only speak Chinese, most of them. And then so we tried to make friends with international students, and she just happened to be in the mix, and yeah.
Love happened.
Mm-hmm, love happened. I was just having conversations. I have no intentions of
Sure. Yeah. Sure.
Bro, believe me, bro.
I've hung out with you for the last 2 months, and I'm pretty sure. Yeah, okay, we'll go with that. Mom.
Okay, all right, just believe me, okay? So yeah, I have no intention of getting into a relationship whatsoever. Mm-hmm. We're just hanging out, and a Bruneians with some Canadians. Students at a time, and then slowly we kind of get to know each other, and then I was she was sharing me what she loves to do. She loves traveling and everything, and me being a Bruneian boy, and I grew up with not having so much money. So when I was like given this opportunity to go out, I was like, okay, why not use this money to, shop and, enjoy, buy things that I can't afford before. And she showed me how to use the money instead of like shopping. You can like use it for experiences.
Wow.
So we traveled like me and my other friend, Brunei friend, and we went to, and also like another a friend from Netherlands at the time. Like we went to like this place called Yangshuo in China. That's the first time I traveled. Like,
wow.
Yeah, we went on the train and there we go. And then after that, I was like addicted to it, addicted to the nature. And then after that, I came back, I was sharing with her. I was like, oh my God, what an experience that was. Like she's the one who introduced me. Like, why don't you go here? Because she went there before me.
Okay.
Yeah. So, and I went after her with my other friends. And then after that, she was like, okay, why don't we go to Beijing? So I took my other Bruneian friend again and we went to Beijing.
Wow. That's amazing, man.
Yeah. So it kind of opened my eyes to like, oh my God, I can do so much things with
money.
With money.
I think you can do a lot of things with money. I'm telling you right now.
Yep.
So, and then from there, you guys just kept in touch and I guess fell in love.
Yeah.
Wow. When did you move to Canada?
November 2019.
Wow.
Yeah.
How long after China was that?
That was, so China was like 2016. That was like 3 years.
So you guys were doing the LDR, the long distance relationship for a
Yeah.
while. And then it just happened, huh?
Well, it didn't just happen. A lot of ups and downs, family got involved whatsoever.
That's what makes it exciting.
But at the same time, stressful as well.
You can't enjoy a rainbow without a little bit of rain.
That's
Amal.
right. That's right.
If I could pivot a little bit, I just want to tell the listeners out there how I knew about you. Because I've been a follower on your Instagram for a long time, right? I'm a huge fan of the content you put out. I knew you were a Bruneian trainer in Canada, and I was like, wow, there's this guy who's out there doing it right now. He's hustling. He's putting out good social media content, which was very informative, very like beneficial stuff. And I was like, wow, he knows what he's doing. And then I think I saw on your IG that you were coming back into town. And then there I was doing a class at Jam, and we've never really spoken. It's more like, hey man, nice video, cool stuff, And then you come to, I think you were at Jab one point. I was running a class. Arianne, your wife, was in my class. I didn't know at the time that she was your wife. And I saw you. You were at the dumbbell rack. You're chasing the pump. You're chasing the pump like, oh yeah, I gotta. And then you had the whole like, the stoic like. I'm like, this guy's serious or so, huh? And then I come over. I'm like, hey man, like, because I didn't want to miss the opportunity to meet you. Because I said, hey, I came over and I said, I've been a fan of your content for a long time. I've been following you for a long time. I just really wanted to come over and say hello. Yeah. And then, you're trying to be like, hey, thanks a lot, man, trying to be all cool. And then your wife in the background was like, he's a fan of your content too.
Yeah, I remember that. I was holding my laugh for that one. I was like, damn it. Don't say that.
Not in front of my friends. But yeah, man, I've been a follower of yours for so long. It was really cool to finally get to meet you. And then we get to hang out here in Brunei because you were working at the same gym. And I was just like, wow, like you're just super cool, like guy to get to hang out with, to learn from. And I can see why you're a successful trainer overseas as well, man. So
Thank you.
It was really cool. It was really cool. What's it like, man? You've been gone for 3 years. COVID happened, traveling stopped. You've been gone for 3 years. Now you're back in Brunei. How does that feel?
How does it feel? Felt different. When I left, I feel like I was
When you left Brunei, or
when I left Brunei, at the time, like not that I felt like I knew that, like nobody knew about me.
Okay.
At the time, so it was hard for me to like find clients whatsoever.
In Canada.
In Brunei.
Oh, in Brunei.
This was So, and after that, when I went to Canada, same thing. Like not many people know me. Like not many. Like not every single soul knows me outside of my Arianne circle. Yeah. So it was really hard for me to find clients over there. People don't know about me, and there's just so much things that happened along that timeline as well. So when I came back, it was different. I feel like during my presence in Canada, I was also building my presence here.
Yeah.
People start to recognize me. Oh, there's a personal trainer, Bruneian personal trainer, living in Canada. So, so when I did like the advertisement that saying that, oh, I'm gonna come back and I'm gonna be taking like 6 clients, and I was like getting a lot of engagement. I was like, oh.
Sponsored posts too. You did a sponsored post, right?
Yeah. Well,
yeah, because it came up on my sponsored feed too. I'm like, all right, homeboy's hustling right now. I see you.
Let me tell you, I only spent $50 on that one.
Hey, $50 well spent.
Yeah,
and
it was
it reached the right people, right?
It did, and I was like quite surprised with the amount of engagement I was getting, and I ended up like having like 11 clients, and I was like, whoa,
amazing.
I only intended to do 6 because I wanted to, spend most of my time with my family.
With your best friend Nazri.
Yeah, with my best friends.
Okay, agree to disagree.
Sure. Let's cut that out.
Anas, we edit that out. Thank you very much. But yeah, okay. I want to sort of put an earmark in what you mentioned earlier about difficulty to find clients, especially with a tiny circle and stuff like that. So I'm going to talk about that when we talk about you being a personal trainer there. But let's touch a little bit on the whole Brunei thing. You brought Arianne back as well. You guys did a lot of exciting things. She was telling me all about the Pasar Gadong.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She loves that.
Yeah. Is food generally expensive in Canada?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, you can't find nasi katok over there. My nephew was like asking, Bunchu, what's the nasi katok over there looks like? I'm like, there's no nasi katok there. No. There's like that would be a blessing if you can find something that's $150.
Yeah.
Yeah, but there's nothing like that. Everything's just like above $10
For a meal.
for a meal. Generally, like every day we spend like close to like probably $50.
Oh my God.
If we want to eat out.
Yeah.
But yeah, like here $50 you can get like
Everything.
everything.
What's your go-to when you go to Pasar Gadong?
Kebab.
Come on. Oh yeah. And it's so simple too, right? It's meat, it's mayo, it's chili sauce. That's it.
Done. And roti john.
Roti john.
Yeah, I love the deal though. $5
Bro.
for 3.
Bro, Nas, what's the roti john that we go to? Tasbeh, bro.
Tasbih, where's
Roti
that?
john Tasbeh. Number 1. I'm trying to get them on as a sponsor. Roti john Tasbeh, hands down, best roti john in Brunei.
You hear that, Tasbih?
I'm gonna put that out there right now. I think they use like curry powder or something. Like there's some seasoning in it that makes it a really good roti john.
I'm gonna Google map that one.
You mentioned nasi katok just now. Just from your stories alone, you've been on a rampage at Nasi Lemak Classic.
Yeah.
That seems to be your go-to at the moment. Is it because I feel like you eat it every few days? Is it because you miss it so much in Canada or because you genuinely enjoy it?
It's both. I genuinely enjoyed it, and at the same time, I miss it so much because I couldn't get my hands on nasi lemak over there. There's nothing like that over there.
New business venture, bro.
Oh, I was thinking about that. I was thinking about that. I did talk to Adrian about it, and she was like, "Slow down, all right, take a breath, all right. You have a lot of plans, you have a lot of ideas. Calm down." Okay.
Also, I don't think the term "fatty rice" would go so well.
No, I'm not even gonna translate it. All right, I'm just gonna say it as it is. Nasi lemak classic.
Yeah.
From Brunei.
From Brunei.
There you go. And people are like, "Where's Brunei?"
Where's Brunei?
Yeah. Yeah. They say it like that though. Brunei.
Yeah. You've been back for 3 months now. You're heading back next week. I wish we got to hang out more. How does it feel? So we've already asked you how you feel coming back to Brunei. How does it feel that you're about to head back to Canada, to Burnaby?
Mixed feelings.
Okay.
Yeah. The idea of going back home, meeting my wife, Arianne, doing what I do, being a health coach over there, and going out in the nature, that excites me. Like seeing my cats, that excites me. But leaving my family for another time, leaving my family again, kind of sings a little bit in me.
It's rough, right?
It's kind of rough, yeah.
It's always family. It's always going to be family. They're always family. Yeah, for sure. I get it, man. I get it. Now, let's talk a little bit about. So this podcast, if you didn't know, is me talking to locals who are chasing their dreams, chasing their passions, making a living, putting food on a table, doing what they love.
Yeah.
And I think you're a prime example of that. So let's kick things off with, how did you get into fitness? Because I was a fat kid, and then I got into that. But how did you get into fitness? What's your story? What's your supervillain story?
My supervillain. Well, I remember being like talked down to. I remember being bullied for being skinny. Like
In high school?
Throughout when I was growing up, generally I was like skinny up until like even when I was still in university. So I just got tired. Like people will be like, when they see me like being skinny, like, indong mo na bagi makan ka? It was like
it hurts a little when they have to bring family into it, huh?
Yeah, I was like, you don't have to say that mean things to me. Like, you don't know if my family can afford to feed me or not. Yeah. You don't know anyone's story. So maybe what you said is true. You don't have to say it like that.
Yeah.
In fact, you don't have to say anything about people's body.
Yeah.
If you're big, if you're small, you're skinny, whatever, let them be.
Yeah.
So I was bullied. It's my supervillain story. And I was like, I got sick of it. I was like, I want to look cool, I want to look good, trying to impress people.
Yeah.
So I approached Hazwan.
Oh, okay.
Hazwan Rosli, yeah.
Bodybuilder KB.
The bodybuilder.
Man, power couple too.
Yes.
I know those guys. Yeah, for sure.
So
because you were a KB boy.
Yes. Yeah. Well, not technically KB boy though. I'm Labi boy.
Labi boy. Okay,
Yeah.
okay. Is that technically KB district or Tutong district?
It is KB.
Okay lah, KB boy lah.
KB boy lah.
KB boy lah.
Light boy lah.
Light boy lah.
Yeah,
Okay. It's gonna be a t-shirt. Hashtag BB. Okay. And then and what happened? So you approached Hazwan. He was a friend of yours. He was how'd that relationship come
At
about?
that time, like my friend Adi Shazwan, he was like looking great. Like he was lean, having six packs, big arms. I was like, oh my God. Like I want to look like this guy.
Yeah.
Like people be talking about him. I was like, okay. So I asked him, I'm like, hey, what do you do? And I was like, oh, I just train with this trainer, So he was like sharing me. It was like his journey, how he was like bulking and cutting. And it was like, okay, all right.
I'm going to pretend that I know what those words mean. And because I've definitely been there, bro. Oh, yeah, okay,
Yeah,
sure.
Yeah. And then he was like, introduced me, like, oh, my trainer is this. So it took me like, after I finished Form 6. And then while waiting for my UBD to be, while waiting to be accepted in UBD, and I approached Hazwan. So, and he offered me, yeah, sure, come over to this place. And I asked him, like, how much do you charge? Oh, $5 a session. That's what.
Wow. That's a great deal.
$5, and I was like struggling to pay him $20, for 4 sessions. I have to ask my mom for that money.
Yeah. Dude, I get it, dude.
Yeah.
I get it.
So I paid him. He was like, he went above and beyond for me. It was not even like 60 sessions, 60-minute session. It was like, it can go up to like 90 to 120-minute session based on like how he feels. Like if I need more, it was like, he will give me more.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was like how I started into my fitness journey.
So from there, what sparked your interest into coaching?
After years of like training with Hazwan and training with my friends in university, and then after that, I start we start breaking up, and then we start creating a new circle of like lifting friends. And I start because I'm the most like tenured in that circle, so I start coaching my friends as well. They were like, "Oh, how do I do this?" And I was like, "I know like only like basic bodybuilding stuff." So I was like, "Oh, you got to do this. It was like it just started as that.
Okay.
And then and they were like, just start getting results. I was like, "Oh wow, this feels good." It was like I felt accomplished. Like helping people. So I feel fulfilled.
Yeah.
And what was the question again?
Yeah, I mean, how did you get into coaching from there?
Oh, got into coaching. Okay. No.
So you were training with Hazwan.
Yeah.
You started, building a circle of friends to live with. You started giving them tips and stuff like that. Yeah.
I remember now.
Okay.
So when I went to China,
Oh,
when I went to China.
China seems to be the birthplace for a lot of things in your life right now.
Arianne at the time, she didn't tell me who she was. You know, she co-owned a gym.
Really?
Yeah, she co-owned a gym. So she didn't tell me at the time, but then I was like, at the time I was like more like into like powerlifting, bodybuilding kind of thing. So I took her to the gym, you know, like, show her a couple moves. And then I was like teaching how to bench and everything. And I was a douche, you know. I didn't even ask her, like, do you know how to work out? And no, straight away I'm like, oh, this is how you should bench. This is how you should like squat and everything. And she just listened to me. And she just like did whatever.
She humored you.
Yeah, she humored me.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay. And then she was like, actually, I do know how to work out.
How'd that make you feel?
Okay. I actually did a bodybuilding competition like 3 years ago. I was like, what the heck? I was like a little bit embarrassed. I'm like, oh, okay. They're trying to keep my cool. I was like, oh, okay, yeah. So how did you do? You know? And everything. She was sharing me about her stories. You know, she had a gym and everything. So, and then she was like, oh, okay. But then like at that time, she also noticed that I had like the potential to be a coach, to be a personal trainer, not yet a coach. And then she opened up that idea to me. She was like, hey, why don't you be a personal trainer? At that time, I didn't know. So I was like, no, I'm not going to do that. It's just like I just enjoy doing it. I never see myself.
Sorry to interrupt you, but for the listeners out there, could you tell us the difference between a personal trainer and a coach?
Okay. To me, by definition, personal trainer is just someone who just trains you one-on-one. But a coach is someone who can wear different hats when you need to.
I like that.
When someone walks in through that door, they'll be carrying, some of them might be carrying like baggage with them.
Oh, this is why I relate to you so much. I agree with you on this one. Yeah. And because you don't know which hat you need to wear at the time.
Yep.
Are you going to be the trainer? Are you going to be their nutrition coach?
Yep.
Are you going to be their best friend? Are you going to be someone that can listen to their problems?
The motivator. There's a lot.
Yeah.
There's a lot. And knowing when to put on those hats, like it's also really important. Sometimes you can't just like be motivated. You can't just be like, come on, push. But they don't need that push.
You can't be a cheerleader all the time, right?
Yeah. Sometimes they just like want to sit down and just like talk.
Yeah.
You know, they're maybe having like a rough day.
Yeah.
And you're like trying to push them for the PR. I'm like, they're not ready for that PR.
Yeah.
You know, so stuff like that.
If we could sort of circle back a little bit, it might be a little sensitive for me to ask, but what was the family situation like? Was it really difficult to sort of get food to sort of bulk? Because you mentioned that someone did mention that, you know, indong na bagi makan ka. Was that a factor growing up?
For me, now this one I have to dig deep a little bit. I feel like I kind of block things out a little bit.
Yeah.
So if I try to remember, I remember we have enough food on the table.
Yeah.
I remember that my parents like go out every week to Pasar Gadong to grab some like fresh meats.
Yeah.
But I also remember the struggle that my mom had to go through. My parents, both my parents. My mom was like selling kueh, like pulut panggang, curry puffs, and all this like banana fritters, you know, and she was like making like $10 or $20 a day.
Yeah.
And she had to put in hours, and she had to wake up at like 3 or 4 in the morning, and she had to send these foods like before 6, before people start getting to work. So I remember that. And then when like by 5 or 6 p.m., she'll come back to that stall and collect whatever, like maybe there's leftovers, maybe like if maybe it's all her food like sold out, like she would be like have like a big smile on her face, and she only carries with her like $20. You know, I remember the hardship that she had to go through that. But I don't quite remember if we're having like difficulties like buying food whatsoever.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the part.
Moms are special, aren't they?
Yeah.
Because when my parents divorced, I saw my mom have to scrape the bottom of the barrel every single month just to get by. Because I grew up spoiled. Yeah. And when my parents divorced, I just saw my mom really have to scrape the bottom of the barrel to just get by, to make sure we had a roof over our heads, to make sure we had, food on the table, to make sure that we had the equipment that we needed to go to school. And dude, I feel you, man. And moms, they're special, man. They're special human beings. Now, if I could sort of just switch gears a little bit, once you started working out, because you said you wanted to impress people a little bit more, you said you wanted to, switch things up, you wanted to seem cool.
Yeah.
Did it help?
Not really.
I get that a lot, man. Even for me. Dude, I get it, dude. I get it. It's so crazy because people think, as soon as I start working out, I'm going to be way more confident. I'm going to make more friends. I'm going to be more happy. What's your take on that?
I think I just spend too much time like trying to impress people, where I should just like be focusing on myself. Yeah. Like that's what I learned. Like I'm like a people pleaser, and still am sometimes. I'm like should I say like a recovering people pleaser?
Yaya's here, and she would tell you that I'm exactly the same. She's trying to help me stop being a people pleaser.
I need help too, Yaya.
Because I feel our similarities are probably the reason why I feel that I can relate to you so much. Without even we've never even talked about all this stuff. About being the people pleaser, about the upbringing of moms and stuff like that. So yeah, I totally get it. I hate conflict. I hate having to resolve issues. That stuff. Ugh.
Resolving issues. For me, I love resolving issues. I don't know what. I don't know. Probably like me trying to be a savior or something.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love just sweeping things under the carpet, bro.
I think that's my toxic trait.
That's your toxic trait, to be the savior.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, like I love problems.
Do you feel fixing problems goes hand in hand with being a coach?
Kinda, yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Is that why you think because when people want to get in shape, when people want to lose weight, when people want to get stronger, fitter, they reach out to a coach. They need some fixing in some sense as well, right? Is that why you think you gravitated towards being a coach?
That's a good question.
That's what we're here for. I'm not just a pretty face.
That's a good question.
Never really thought about it that way?
No.
I'm sorry to pop your bubble there.
I was like, For now, I'm just gonna say maybe.
Maybe. Okay. Let's shift a little bit.
Shift a little bit. We'll probably come back to that.
What do you think makes a good coach?
Being curious.
About
everything. Because like I said, when you are dealing with people, when they come to you, they usually for me, when I came to Hazwan, I was carrying my baggage with me. I was like, I need to do this. I need to prove myself this, but some people, they just want to, I don't know, they just bring different things. So being curious is I think it's really important because it helps you understand what they really need and what they wanted. And
do you think being curious also means education as a coach? Just constantly learning what's new out there. Does that have, is that an aspect of curiosity you feel?
Yep. Sometimes your method is not the only way. I learn different stuff from different coach throughout my coaching years. I've been doing this for 6 years, and I've learned from I think I didn't learn enough from different coaches, and that's what I wanted to do more. Mm-hmm. And so far, I have had 4 coaches in the last 6 years, and I think it really helps.
Do you feel each coach has taught you different things in terms of how to be a better coach or how to be a better athlete?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool, man. Is there a tip that stands out to you that one of your coaches, or a lesson that stands out to you that a coach has shared? Because I remember I used to coach at Reebok CrossFit 673, and I remember one of the things that my boss, my friend Michael Mogard, taught me as a coach was get them moving ASAP. You know, so for example, in a group class, no one wants to know the warm up. No one wants to know what's the strength and skill after. No one wants to know what the workout is. No one wants to know tactics right now. Right now, class just started. Just get them moving ASAP.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's one of the things that stick out to me. And I see a lot of coaches just, hey guys, today we're gonna, and I think that's the one tip for me as a coach that really, I think, has stuck with me all these years. Is there something that's similar to you?
Let me think about this.
We can circle back to it later if you want. But if you do have a good one, I think that'd be really cool to...
Let me think. Just cut this out later, okay? I know how it works now.
We'll just edit from here, and we're back. Did you write a script for this, Amal?
I just talk to myself.
Yeah.
Yeah, the thing about me is I'm very forgetful. Sometimes I said something so nicely. And after that, what did I say again?
He's so modest too.
I was like, oh, that's a good one to put in Nazri's podcast. Yeah. Let me just write it down. What was it?
Yeah. If someone was, did you manage to find your quote? No.
Yeah, no.
No.
I was just looking at what makes a good coach. I had an answer for that earlier. But,
yeah. Okay. Yeah. What do you think makes a good coach?
I think what makes a good coach is that like I said, being curious. And when you take the time to get curious, you'll be able to learn the needs of your client and adapt accordingly, which is why curiosity is really important. That's what I think.
I'm a big believer of that. I'm a big believer of that. I think a lot of coaches, I'm not saying it's wrong, and I'm not saying it's the style that you need to avoid, because different things work for different people.
Yeah.
But a lot of coaches learn one thing and vomit it consistently on their clients. And every time they learn a new thing, that's the thing they want to vomit onto their clients. And then they learn a new thing, and then that's the one they're going to push onto their clients.
This is true.
Whereas I feel as a coach, you need to have all these different tools in your belt, and you need to know when to use those tools. I'm not going to use a hammer to put a screw in. I mean, you could, but it's not the best tool for the job. Yeah. I'm not going to use, a drill to move a stone around. You know what I mean? And that's what I feel a coach should. It's one of the things that irks me as being in the coaching scene.
Yeah, I agree with you.
Yeah,
especially when you learn something new, you're just so eager to apply it right away.
Yeah.
But the thing about it, that client doesn't need it.
Yeah.
Doesn't need that. You know? So one thing that I also want to touch into, what makes a good coach is that, which is relatable to what you said just now, it's not about you. It's about them.
Oh, I dropped the bomb there, brother. For sure.
It's about them.
Yeah.
And I find that most of the time, most of the cases, is that they're trying to make it about them. They're trying to push the perfections or expectation on their client to perform certain way.
Because if their client succeeds, they succeed. If their client fails because they didn't follow it, that's affected
but their expectations or the way they see what success looks like for the client might be different from what the client thinks what a success might look like for them.
For sure.
So I'll give you an example. A client comes in, for example, I'm I focus on prehab and rehab. If you come into me and be like, I want to be the strongest MF in this world, I'm like, yo, you came to the wrong coach here. I mean, I can train you to get stronger, but best believe that you go to this coach. But if someone walks in and like, hey, I have a lower back pain right now and I need help. I'm like, sure,
that's your jam?
That's my jam. Like that's what I would do, like any day. I don't want to be focused on like a performance. Like there's so many coaches that teaches that performance. There's so many coaches that does like different things. I want to be able to help like people who doesn't know like about like anything about lower back pain. How do I deal with this? How do I deal with my wrist pain? How do I deal with my knee pain? Like rolling yourself on the floor, on a cross bowl doesn't help. So like different things needs to be approached differently.
For sure. So let's, in that same vein, and I want to touch on this in a bit. How does one, if someone's listening right now, has a passion for fitness, super excited about, being the best version of themselves they can be, wants to help people be the best versions of themselves that they can be as well. How can one person get into this field? What was the route that you took, and what's the route that you may recommend people who are tuning into the podcast that they can take as well?
Be willing to learn. Is number one thing. When I say number one, that's what I did. So when Arianne introduced me, like when she told me about like, hey, why don't you become a personal trainer? I was like, no. That's the first thing I said. I was like, no. No one told me that like a personal trainer is gonna make money out of it. It's not a common thing here. So, and she was like, she told me like, oh, actually you can make a living becoming a personal trainer in Canada. I was like, well, I'm not going to Canada.
Yet.
Well, not that I know of at that time. And she so I visited her in Canada back by the end of like 2016. And she was like, Amal, I want you to run a class for me.
Wow. She threw you in the deep end, huh?
Yeah. She was like, okay. You know what? I'm excited. I was like, okay, cool. Let me teach these white people how to move.
Oh my gosh, Amal. I'm going to leave that in there. Right. I'm definitely going to leave that in there. I just want the record to show that it was Amal who said it, not me.
Let me rephrase that.
No. It's fine. So you taught these people how to move in this class.
Let me...
No. There's no backtracking on this podcast, Amal. And then what happened?
Let me teach these people how to move.
Oh, I love this so much.
So, and I did. She threw me in for 2 classes.
Yeah.
This is my first time I ever did a group class. And after that, I fell in love with it. I was like, wow, I can actually make them move.
Yeah. Them.
Yeah.
Got it.
Stay safe.
Yeah.
All right. And then after that, I went back 2017. I was like, okay, I want to do a little bit more. So I tried with a bunch of my friends, UBD friends, and we did it at a FIS. I think it's called FIS, Faculty of Integrated Science.
Okay.
The one that looks like a Lego building.
Oh, okay.
The green
I know
and the
that
yellow
building.
one.
Yeah. The one right at the back.
Yes, that's the one. So I did my group classes there.
Okay.
And then after that, okay, I kind of enjoyed this. So, and after that, the second time I went to Canada, that's where Arianne be like, oh, you know what? Why don't you shadow some of these trainers? So I shadowed like 4 trainers at a time. Yeah, even the owner of like Dyer Fitness, Jonathan Dyer.
For the people out there, what is shadowing? What do you do when you shadow as a coach?
Basically, you just sit and just watch, observe how they coach the client.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't have to do anything. You just sit and just observe.
Yeah.
Like, don't do anything. You just learn.
Yeah.
And that's what I did. I was like learning, and then like I took some notes, and I was like, and then I questioned them. I was like asking, not like question, like, oh, like, why are you doing this? No. I asked them like, oh, why are you doing this? Like from like a curiosity, like, oh, why do you start with this? Oh, why do you end it with this? Stuff like that, like, why are you approaching this client this way? Just being curious and like learning. And then after that, I start getting my certification. And then, man, certification doesn't do anything to me. To me, at least.
Okay.
You were just learning about business ethics and whatsoever.
Yeah.
That's what I learned from it.
Yeah.
Nothing much. Most of it comes from the experience, like the way you deal with the clients.
Being on the floor.
Yeah, being on the floor. You got to get your hands on. not through the books.
Okay.
Most people be like, they go through the book. They'll be like, oh, I'm certified personal trainer now.
Yeah.
People be proud of that. I'm like, in my head, I was like, good for you. What's next? You know, it doesn't mean you have a certification. You're good enough to help people out there. Well, not in a bad way when I say not good enough.
Yeah.
You know, but there's so much more work to do.
For sure.
You know, so be willing to learn. That's what I'm trying to say.
So if I could sort of recap a little bit, one was to, I think like you said, was just be curious, right? You started jumping into classes, you started coaching classes, then you sort of tried exploring it with different markets and stuff like that. Then you started shadowing people. Did you do your certification after that?
Yes. I had my certification back in like 2017, I think.
Do you feel having a certification does lend a little bit of weight
Yes.
when people approach you as a coach?
Yes, definitely.
Like someone that they can trust. So there's still some leverage to having certification.
Yes.
Yeah, for sure. And then after that, then that's how you started getting into personal training?
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you feel like, just now you said that you specialize in rehab, prehab.
Mm-hmm.
Finding a niche, would that be something beneficial for someone who's jumping into coaching?
Absolutely. But don't jump to it right away. I feel like you got to expose yourself first, because it took me a while to find my niche as well. I was like, for the first like 3-4 years, I was like, what is my niche?
Yeah.
I'm like, in my head, I was like, oh, I'm so good at doing this. I feel like I can tap into each one of them. But then that's just in my head. But then it was like, when I start digging deep, it was like, what do I really want to do with all this knowledge? And then what do I want to, like, who do I want to target? And then I realized that why I started it. Or why do I start like having this passion of like trying to help people? It's actually started from my family.
Okay.
Yeah, like lifestyle, my mom, and seeing my siblings. So it kind of like pushes me to help people,
Yeah.
educate people, like tell them like health is really important,
Yeah.
because it's kind of like a health and your quality of life kind of like directly correlated.
For sure, man. I'm a big believer of that as well. So one of the things I do with my clients as a coach is early on, I need to find out what their why is. Why are they here today with a personal trainer? I have a game I play with them called the 5 Whys. Have you heard of it?
5 whys?
Yeah. So usually the first answer they give you is surface level. You really need to dig into the thick of things to really figure out why they're there and why they want those results. And once you tap that, then you can really find the core reason, right? So usually I'd be like, hey, why are you here with a personal trainer today? Then they tell me, I just want to lose weight. Okay, why is losing weight important to you? So that's the second why. And I'd be like, I just want to feel a bit more confident. Why does feeling confident mean such a big deal to you right now? And they'll break it down. And then when you get to the 5 whys, most of the time it'd just be, I'm just unhappy with the way of my quality of life, blah, blah, blah. So that's when you really know. Because I know with training, you and I both know there will be a lot of highs, there'll be a lot of lows. So when things get really low, now I can remind them, or we can remind each other what the real why is.
Yeah.
So they can tap back into it and then crush goals along the way.
That's amazing, man.
Hey, thanks, man. Thanks,
That's amazing.
man.
Now I learned something new. 5 whys.
5 whys, bro.
5 whys.
Initial consult is the first thing I do with all my clients. I'd go through the 5 whys. And I think, like you, trying to find your niche, I think that's one of the reasons, that's one of the things people can do to really figure out what their niche is. Because my niche as a coach is I like helping people get started.
Yeah.
Right? I like working with people who have never been in a gym before.
Me too.
I like working with people who don't know how to work out or what the machines do or what they're supposed to do on the floor.
Yeah.
My goal as a PT is by the end of a year, if you're still training with me, I have failed. I want to be able to prep you to have you feel confident that you can step on any gym floor in the world and be confident that you can do any workout. That is my goal. My goal is, yes, I will hold your hand at the start. I will help get you started. But by the end of it, I want you to feel confident to walk into any gym and crush any workout you want to do. That is my ultimate goal. And for me, I had to do the whole thing as well. Like, what is my niche? Do I want to help moms? Do I want to help business dads who are busy? Do I want to help? There's so many. And I think for me, as I like working, it brings me the most joy to work with people who, and that discovery, like you said, I jumped into be open-minded to everything at the start. And then I think it takes a couple of years for you to really decide what brings you the most joy and where can you bring the most benefit to people out there in the world. For sure, man. And I like that. So yours is rehab prehab?
Yeah. But before rehab prehab, it was something else.
What was it?
It was just for like, same like you. Like your goal to be able to hold their hand first and then after that, let them go. And they're comfortable working out anywhere.
Yeah.
You want to do CrossFit after this? Good. You want to do Olympic lifting? Good.
Yeah.
You want to do this, you're good. As long as you have the basics.
Yeah.
You're good to go.
Now, you're doing a job. Does it bring you joy?
Yeah.
You're doing a job which is very unorthodox in our culture. In Brunei specifically, it'd be like, coach, you're not getting a government job. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There is no security. There is no sort of, all that stuff. We've heard it all. As a coach, we've heard it all. You're not going to be able to make a living. You're not going to be able to support your family, all that stuff. Have you heard these things before?
Yeah.
How does that... how does that make you feel? Do you have any, thoughts about it?
Well, it even started in my own family too. When I was planning to get married with Arianne, they were like, "You don't have a stable job yet." I'm like, "I'm a health coach."
Yeah.
I was like, "That's not a real job."
Yeah.
You need to be in the government or BSP or something, to be able to
be
provide.
successful.
Yeah, to be successful. What is deemed successful?
Yeah.
But so at that time, I was like, to me, it was like making like probably 1,000 to 1,500 a month. And I was like, nah.
Yeah.
There's no security in that.
Yeah.
Which is true at the time. But
especially if you're going to support a family of your own and stuff like that. Yeah.
So, and then, can you repeat the question again?
Yeah. Just, if you've had any experiences with, people saying that you won't be able to do what you do today, we've heard it all, right? Yeah. Are there days where, because I know I go through this, especially with something that's not normal, a job that's not normal.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, the disappointment on my mom's face when I told her that I wanted to be a magician. It's burned in my memory.
Yeah.
So I'm sure there must have been some days where you feel, insecure. You feel like this isn't going to work, or have you not experienced those days?
Oh, I did. I have like a lot of things in mind. I have like imposter syndromes and feeling like not good enough. Maybe I'm not the best trainer out there. Like maybe I should just stop. Maybe I should just focus on like something else. But then the bigger part of me would be like, nah, you got to get better.
Yeah.
You got to push yourself, push past the limit, prove that all these people wrong.
Yeah.
I'm like, so I took the risk and I'm going to be doing it again next year. I did it before by learning from people, but now I'm going to actually put myself just in school.
Okay.
So I'm going to do that again. I want to be the best at what I do.
Okay.
When I said I want to be a rehab, I'm going to do it.
Yeah. Well, it's on recording now. So, we're going to play this back to you. This is your why. This is your why. So next year when you're like, nah, school's so difficult, I'm going to play this clip. I'm going to play this clip and remind you.
Can you delete that?
I'm just reminding you. Okay. So,
am I answering your question so far?
yeah, for sure, man.
Oh, man.
I just want you to know that.
I need to start looking over there, bro.
Yeah.
My neck.
Sorry, dude. We'll adjust this the next time, I promise. But I just want you to know that obviously there's going to be days where we feel like we're not good enough. we feel that we haven't made enough out of an impact or doing what we do and stuff like that. So I've got a surprise segment for you. For moments like this, I want you to know that when you go through days like this, I want you to remember this moment right here.
Okay.
So I actually reached out to a few people in your life and got them to send me some audio recordings of how you have impacted their lives by doing what you do. Are you ready?
Well, no.
So the first person I reached out to was a client of yours, Hazim Halim.
Okay, yeah.
So when I asked him, everyone was so kind to sort of just respond and share what their thoughts were for you. So if there are ever times that is there any insecurity or doubt in you right now, I want you to know this is how you make people feel with what you do. All right? So this is Hazim. I'll send you the recording later now so we can overlay it on top of it.
All right, hold on. Before you play that, I'm an emotional person, all right? Give me some tissue at least, all right?
I'm sorry. Yeah.
Like, put some tissue next to me right now, okay?
There you go. Okay, this is from Hazim Halim.
I'm sorry.
Because this is something we only just came up with. I think we've only got 2, but this is what Hazim had to say about you.
Hey Amal, Hazim here. Just a quick one from me. I'm one of the few lucky clients who trained with Amal in his short stay in Brunei this year. All I can say is he's a very passionate and a very knowledgeable fitness trainer. He's so easy to get along with, very helpful and very accommodating. You can tell he genuinely cares about his clients. And yeah, I knew from the very first session we had, I knew we'd get along really well. I've been with him for just over 12 weeks now, so that's about 3 months. Yeah, I can tell that my fitness level has drastically increased, and I've seen improvements in my ability to progressively lift heavier weights now. But yeah, I feel like I'm more confident to continue on in this journey on my own. Yeah, I guess that's all from me now.
That's what Hazim had to say about you. So if there's any times that you feel that you're not making an impact on other people's lives, like I just want you to know that's just one of your clients. I wish I could get in touch with the people in Canada because I'm sure you've impacted them just as much. How does that make you feel, man?
A little bit emotional.
Yeah.
But how should I say this?
Gives you a little bit of weight at what you do?
It does. And basically, I delivered. Yeah. I delivered the things that I said I would do. And when I put on that advertisement, I said, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. And I asked all of them. And they all said, like, I asked them, like, did I deliver all of this? And they said, yes.
Yeah.
And that makes me feel enough. Like, I did my part.
I've got another one here.
Do I get to take a guess?
Please guess.
Arianne?
Definitely from Arianne. So Arianne also had some great things. Before that, we didn't have time for it, but Hazim also said that if he ever visits you in Canada, he will bring you nasi lemak classic.
Oh, man. Don't.
Because you have your business there already. That's right.
Amen to that. But yeah, don't bring food, bro. No.
You got him?
I don't know. He might be...
Stopped at that. Yeah, they're
he might
strict
get
about
stopped,
these things, right? Yeah. So here's what Arianne had to say about how you've impacted her life and just by doing the things that you do.
Surprise! It's me, your partner in life, Arianne. Amal, I wanted to tell you how proud I am to watch and witness you shatter society's idea of what success looks like, especially as a personal trainer in Brunei. I know it's not easy, and you've shown me and everyone around you that if you can dream it, you can do it, and you are the definition of love in action, love for life, family, and purpose, and me. I can't wait to see you pave way for others who want to take risks for their dreams. Love you.
Break.
Take as much time as you need, my man. Take as much time as you need, for sure. You've got a lot of great people in your life, my guy, and
Love you too, boo.
Hey, you don't have to tell everyone about our love. Oh, that was for Arianne. Sorry, I got a little excited there. My bad.
Off recording, I'll tell you.
Okay. Thank you very much, Amal. But yeah, man, I think you're taking all the right steps right now, and I think I hope that people that are listening take on the tips that you've shared with them. You know, the path that you've sort of laid out for people to try it, explore, to sort of get there. And I really hope they and you can see it. It works. It works, man.
Better.
For sure, man. I just wanted to leave you with something that if there are any days where you feel a little down, a little insecure about why you're doing what you're doing, there are people there's already 2 people in this world that you've affected. And I think just keep on going, my guy. Keep on going.
Oh, well. Thank you, buddy.
No worries, man. I just wanted to sort of, I know it's been a bit of an emotional roller coaster.
Oh, yeah.
We did a little soul searching.
Took me by surprise over there.
I know this was a segment that I really wanted to sort of try on all of our other guests as well. And I thought, how can we sort of make this, a little bit more meaningful, not only for you, but for the people listening and for the people in your life, and, and what we can do by just doing the things we do, Yeah, man. So let's talk. We've talked a lot about your highs here.
Okay.
Right? What was an expensive or big mistake that you made, or something that you slipped up that taught you an important lesson?
Time.
How so?
Wasting time.
Oh, I love that. Break it down for me, my guy.
So during the first year, okay, so let me break it down this way. If I knew what I would wanted to do, I would have just spent 4 years instead of studying geology. I would have just studied human body, something related to that.
Dude, you are preaching to the choir, because my mom told me I needed to do geomatics.
Geomatics?
Dude, I'm a geomatics degree holder. I am satellite mapping, I am land surveying and maps, and I am a coach. I do not need to sukat tanah in my day-to-day job and my career. So you are preaching to the choir, man. Mm-hmm. I wish, but it's so hard.
It is hard.
We have family. We have culture, which isn't necessarily a bad thing, because as I talk to all my friends who are doing all these different things, they're just looking out for us. They're our family. They are trying to put us on a path that will make us the most safe and the most secure, and how we can take care of them and our family as well. But yeah, so time's probably the biggest thing. Yeah. But if you didn't go through all this, you wouldn't have gone to Canada. You wouldn't have gone to China.
Yeah, that's the one.
You wouldn't have
met
Arianne. You wouldn't have gotten Arianne to teach you about fitness and all this thing.
Traveling.
Sorry?
And traveling.
I'm a firm believer that everything happens for a reason.
Yeah, me too. I never regretted it though.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I don't see it as a mistake.
Yeah.
That's my belief. Everything that happens, it happens for a reason. I don't see them as a mistake. Even though to people's eyes, you made a mistake. I'm like, no.
Yeah.
I learned something from it.
Yeah.
It's an opportunity for me to learn. And one thing that I learned from my first year when I came to Canada, I was numbing a lot. I had depression, and I was wasting.
Could you break down numbing? I don't think I've heard that.
Numbing as in I was just running away from what I truly feels. And I sort of resort to external stuff such as playing games, So I got addicted to gaming. I even gamed with my friends back in Brunei, my friends in Brunei. And while I was in Canada, I was gaming.
That's a 7-hour difference as well, too, right?
It's actually 16 hours difference.
16-hour difference. Okay.
So I would wake up really early in the morning to catch them, like before their bedtime, and we would just game.
Yeah.
I would game with them for like 6 hours.
Oh my gosh.
And after that, I would be gaming by myself for another like 6 hours. And Arianne was like, "What the hell are you doing?" I'm like, "I don't know. I don't know what to do." You know, like I came to this new country and was like, I just don't know what to do. I don't have any friends. I don't have anything. You know, I couldn't work at that time. COVID happens. Everything got delayed. I don't have visa. I don't have like working permit, you know, like to work. And I was doing nothing.
What was the switch?
Arianne was the switch. She forced open that switch, you know?
Wow.
She was like, "You know what? Get the F up and start doing something."
Yeah.
Because I was like complaining. I was a baby.
It's okay. We're allowed to be that once in a while.
I was a baby at the time. I was like, "Oh, I don't know how to do this, and I need help with this," you know?
Yeah.
So she was like,
Manja ba?
"Yeah, manja." I was like,
Yeah.
"Kalau si Azwan mendengar marah ini." Yeah.
Wow.
Anyways.
Yeah.
So I wasted a lot of time. But at the same time, with that experience, I learned to it just reminds me like, oh, if I feel like not doing something, I'm like, hey, you had enough time before. You basically kind of like wasted 1 year of your time almost like doing absolutely nothing. I think you had enough rest. You know, it's time to catch up a little bit, do a little bit. So every time like I rest now, I rest. But when it's time to work, I work. Yeah.
I think learning about balance is one thing, like you just said. Also having that support system, that rock, that one, you know, center of the universe that sort of helps you figure out where to go and what to do. Would you say those are two of some of the most important things you need when you're trying to succeed doing things that are your passions or your things, and when things are not coming together or aligning?
Yeah. And Arianne was my rock at that time. Yeah. She still is though.
I was just gonna say at the time, I was like, great, I've just kicked Arianne out of the equation.
She still is.
Okay, good save. That's what we cut out. That's what we cut out. So I'm gonna end the podcast with just one thing.
Okay.
So my goal for this podcast is for it to be a database. Database for whoever is trying to pursue their passions, doing something that's out of the norm, trying to hustle, trying to juggle multiple things to get by. What is one, and I want to get tips from people like you who are doing it, What is one tip, one piece of advice that you could share with someone listening right now who's thinking about taking the plunge, or who's taking the plunge right now, or who's, sort of getting things together?
Don't be afraid to ask for help. If someone wants to be like you, Nazri, they better come to you and ask, hey, how do I be a magician? If someone wants to be a coach, look for someone that they look up to and ask them, how do I be a coach? How do I be like you? And if they don't have anyone, do it. Don't be afraid to fail. And anything on that one?
Yeah, let's end on that. Amal, I love you. Thank you so much for coming on to the podcast, my guy.
No problem.
I can't wait for the whole country to listen to this, and I can't wait to put this out in the world, and I can't wait to see what other amazing things you get up to in the future, my guy.
Thank you. Appreciate it. I'm looking forward to see what you can do with this podcast as well.
Yes, sir.
I'm sure it's going to hit a lot of hearts out there.
Yeah, I hope
so. A lot
so.
of great minds. Yeah. Thank you for having me.
No worries. And that's it. We're done. We're done, my guy.